That's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Welcome to the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast, the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin. This week is episode 55, Center of the Ring, August of 1999. I'm Mike Prue, along with JV. JV, what's going on this week?
Gearing up for some Thanksgiving, bro.
Some turkey.
Yeah, my favorite holiday.
It is my favorite holiday also. It's just a non-commercial holiday other than giving Stop and Shop and other grocery stores around the country some money.
Yeah, it's only grocery stores making money. And then immediately the next day, it's all over.
Right, it's done.
Exploitation begins immediately.
Right, and then you're on the road to Christmas.
That long fucking road. I wish I could go back and figure out when the fuck I started hating Christmas.
Once you had to pay for gifts.
Yeah. So, once I got a job.
Yeah. Right. Once you're expected to buy your parents presents, you're like, fuck this shit.
What the fuck you mean?
I gotta get you something now? You've been buying me shit all these years? Oh, I gotta get you. Now I gotta get
someone's
you someone's
gotta give me money to buy you something.
Well, that's how it used to be. When you're in 5th grade. All right, your mom gives you money. Oh, get your dad something at the Christmas bazaar at your elementary school.
The bazaar.
You'd buy I love my dad ashtray so I can smoke cigarettes or something, some kind of bullshit like that. Crafts that were made from the 4th graders and 3rd graders.
Oh, let me get this Marlboro jacket.
I gotta add up my Marlboro points and get the jacket.
Fucking speaking like true boomers today, buddy.
Boomers. Oh man,
I love that word. I love when fucking young people come up with fucking names.
Yeah,
that is supposed to be bad for older people like us.
That's
the new thing. When I game and shit now, people somehow
boomer.
they know I'm old. Oh, fucking boomer.
Boomer. They don't even know what boomer means.
Yeah, no, they don't. That's the thing, because we're not boomers.
Right.
We're not. Boomers are
boomers.
our fucking parents.
Or even
older
than our parents.
Yeah. But whatever, I roll with it.
Yeah. Alright, fuck you. If I'm a boomer and you have to call me that means I'm better than you.
Yeah, it's pretty cool though. I gotta say, it could be called worse. Well, fucking boomer,
Hey, that's today's generation. They don't want to use the words that we used to use, so they come up with these other words.
Yeah, and some of them are good. I'm like, that's a fucking good one. It's simple. They kind of broadened it to a bigger, a larger fucking group of people than it really should be used on, but whatever.
With that said, in 20 years, when some of these kids playing online video games, when they're 30-something, 40-something, the word boom is going to bite them in the ass because it's going to be a highly offensive word.
Yeah.
And it's going to get you fired from jobs because you called people boomers in the past. Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Well, yeah, their kids, your kids, are going to fucking have a new word. And
yeah,
when your kids are adults, people will be called, your grandkids will be calling them a shitty word for millennial.
And that's the thing, is that every generation is always going to come up with a new word to offend people, and people aren't going to catch on for generations later and then realize, oh, I should have been offended by that word.
Yeah. I was supposed to be offended by that?
I don't know. I thought that was just what I was called.
Yeah. I could have got someone fired from their job. I could have got a kid kicked out of high school or something stupid. Who knows?
No, you have to wait 50 years before it becomes offensive, and then you can.
Yeah.
And then if you're still using it, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
All right, I guess that's as political as we can get without being political.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys.
Good start.
Well, happy Thanksgiving to y'all. This episode's coming out the Thanksgiving Eve, which is the reunion night around the country where you're going back home or you're going back to see your old friends one last time before you have to go hang out with your parents again and eat dinner with them. But
yeah, that one last time, maybe if you're out of fucking school, coming back from college, hoping to see that fucking one chick you wish you would have fucked and you didn't. So you're hoping to see it now. You put your best outfit on. And you hope to run into her at a local fucking watering hole.
Yeah, those are some
and
great
inevitably
times.
fail and go home and jerk off because you didn't have the fucking sack or you got too hammered.
Yeah.
That's how it went for me, at least.
Yeah. That's how it goes for most people.
Yeah,
that was the cool part with going to school and then all right, let's go Thanksgiving Eve party. Now today, years later, over 15 years after being in college, actually about 15 years, whatever. But Thanksgiving Eve to me now is I'm not hitting roads at all.
Hell no.
I actually went to the liquor store today to get my bottle so I didn't have to get it tomorrow.
That's great.
So that I could just go home and relax and get ready for Thanksgiving the next day. So that's how things roll today. Not that I'm not looking to get laid, but I know where to get laid.
You don't have to leave the house to do it. If you are leaving the house to do it, don't let your wife know.
And actually, I have more of a chance getting laid when I'm not drinking. That's what getting older is.
Oh, yeah.
And most of our audience obviously knows that shit. So we're not, it's not like there's a bunch of 18-year-olds that needs some advice.
Yeah, no shit, right? They're like, what do I do?
All right, so let's get into it here a little bit more here. Is that last week I kind of fucked up. And nobody called me out on it because, that's generally how it is. You guys listen and not everybody's going to reach out. You're not going to write into us and tweet us, even though we ask for it every week. We understand that because we listen to many podcasts and we're not going to reach out every time we have a thought about something. But I did screw up last week and I said Jesse Ventura was the referee in the first Summerslam. And he was, but I screwed it up. I said 1989, and I said, it was a match, Hulk Hogan against Zeus and the Macho Man, and that was 89, not 88. In 88, it was Macho Man and Hogan teaming up with each other against Andre and Million Dollar Man Ted DiBiase, and Jesse Ventura was the referee there. So kind of jumbled that up, and I saw something a day later that made me realize, oh, shit, I totally fucked that up, and I know I said that, so I definitely screwed up. But yeah, so I like to call myself out if I ever do that because I'd rather call myself out instead of somebody else calling me out. You shine a spotlight on yourself. That's how you get respect too. And in the working world, that's how you do it too. If you fuck up, you tell your boss, "Hey, I fucked up. I did this," and then they don't hear about it from somebody else, and they don't give a shit because you already told them.
Yeah, it's called accountability.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's move on now. JV, we got this YouTube channel up, and I guess it's growing a little bit. I'm looking at it week after week. It's going up a little bit. But we have all our episodes on there. If you're somebody that is totally into YouTube and you listen to everything on YouTube, you just like to watch the things on YouTube, our shows are on there. All the chronological episodes are available on YouTube, along with some of the watch-alongs, but the watch-alongs will come later as time goes on, as I get more time to put them up there. But all the regular episodes are on there, so check those out on YouTube and subscribe, please. And if you want to follow JV and I on Twitter and give us some advice and tell us when we fuck up like I did last week, we're at Bottom Line Cast. We're at MPRU83, that's me, Mike Prue. JV's at John Van Damage, John with an H. And you can tweet at us, give us some love. We would appreciate that. So we can find us there on Twitter. And also, JV and I do a special show on the Book in the Territory Patreon feed. That is the Extreme ECW Livecast. And we cover Hardcore TV, which is available on the WWE Network if you want to watch those. And we do watch-along style, so that'd be great. If you want to watch those and go back to early ECW and follow along with JV and I as we break down those episodes, which can be rough, but they're getting better. And we are currently at episode 25 and 26 from September 28th and October 5th of 1993. So check those out on Booking the Territory Patreon feed. It's at the $5 tier. So I'd say give it a shot for a month. And if you like what's available there, keep up with it. But just give it a shot. And last week, we did episode 54, Enter the Game. And where we left off, China earned Triple H's #1 contendership for the main event shot at Austin's title. So at this point, JV, we're at China versus Austin at SummerSlam. But that's all going to change at this go-home show of Raw that we're about to head into. This is Raw 325, August 16th, 1999. Go-home show. It's a tape show from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And we're going to start off with a promo. It's Triple H. He's a little pissed off. He's a little sarcastic. And he's going to call China out and propose something to China. So let's listen to what they have to say for a decent amount of time. This is one of our longer audio segments of the night, of the episode. So take a listen to that, and we'll be right back.
China becoming the #1 contender last week against that man, Triple H.
Oh, look at him. Is he angry, JR, or what?
He is intense. This is very, very personal in many, many
Tonight,
ways.
what I'd like to do is I'd like to come out here and I'd like to put the focus right where it belongs.
Where's that?
On the #1 contender who will face Stone Cold Steve Austin at SummerSlam. And that is none other than the 9th wonder of the world, China.
Whoa! Triple H introducing the #1 contender for the WWF title. The most amazing female athlete, one of the most amazing athletes, period, that I've ever had the privilege of seeing. She is indeed King, the 9th wonder of the world, China.
Oh, hey. Stop sucking up inside. She called you a pig, and now you're trying to suck up to her.
A male chauvinist pig, I'll have you know. Triple H introducing the woman that will challenge the Rattlesnake this Sunday on pay-per-view at SummerSlam.
I still can't believe this. I mean, Triple H looks so angry, so upset about losing to a girl, and now he introduces her.
Well, it is.
He's even got home ropes for her.
It is extraordinary. It's incredulous to say the very least. And China
Should probably call him a male chauvinist pig.
I can think of 2 or 3 things she could call him.
Bask in your glory. This is it. You made the big time. Bask in it.
There she is. She's basking.
You know, and it's really an honor for me to be out here with you. You know, after everything we've been through, to finally be out here standing with you at your crowning moment, your moment of glory. I mean, it means as much to me as it does to you. It's great.
Wow, that's a change.
I mean, think of all the things we've been through all these years. I mean, everything we've done side by side. Remember that time when you qualified for the Royal Rumble? Remember that? And we went out that night with a big limo, and I filled it with all those flowers. Remember that? I mean, the flowers were hanging out the windows, and all those people were there. What a time that was, right? And then remember when remember when you qualified for King of the Ring? You kicked all those guys' asses on the way up, and you finally got there. Man, what a time that was. Remember I brought you that big emerald ring? That big, huge ring, that big fat one, big, huge thing on there? You wear that on special occasions, right? That was pretty nice.
What's he up to, JR?
I guess I've always been pretty giving to you. You know what I mean? I've always given. But the beauty of our relationship, the beauty of all this time is, it goes both ways. You know, you've always given to me, I've always given to you. But I've never asked you for anything until now. I'm gonna ask you for something.
Here it comes.
I am gonna ask you to give me what I have busted my ass for all this time. My number one contender slot.
What?
All I'm asking for is you and me. I already got my stuff on. Right here in this ring, we have a little match. The winner is the number one contender and meets Stone Cold Steve Austin at SummerSlam. What do you say?
Oh my gosh. JR, what about that?
What the offer?
Quite the offer.
Wait a minute now. Let me think about it for a second.
She's thinking.
No.
Whoa!
My God, she's... wait a minute.
I don't know what you're trying to prove, but let's call a spade here. Remember who made your ass? I did. If it wasn't for me, you'd be nothing. You got that? I made you, you know well I can break you.
Man.
I did everything for you. I made everything about you. None of this would be possible without me. And you then bite the hand that feeds you. You turn on me, you screw me.
Whoa. He's right though, JR.
Well, to hell with that. Listen, you ungrateful bitch. I am not asking anymore. I am telling you, I am taking back what's mine. Got it?
You give it a shot, Triple H. Frankly, you ain't got the balls to beat me.
Whoa, it's on! Triple H and China! What? In a number one contenders match right here! China has accepted the challenge of Triple H!
Oh, JR, I got a feeling this is going to be another one of those nights.
Triple H and China will go to war one-on-one tonight, all over the number one contender slot, all over to see who will meet Stone Cold Steve Austin at SummerSlam this Sunday.
All right, so Triple H heads out there, and he's obviously pissed off. He lost his freaking title shot to China. So he comes out there, and then he even introduces China as the number one contender. But then you see the sarcastic Triple H coming out right away. He says, bask in your glory. You made it the big time. You made it to the big time. Bask in it. So he's being such a dick here. And then he even goes beyond that. He says, remember when
he's not genuine here.
No, not at all. And at first, the commentary is putting it over like, huh, what's going on here? And he walked out all pissed off, and now he's being nice for a moment, and then they realize, oh, okay. So he says, remember when you qualified for the Royal Rumble? You know, I gave you all those flowers. Remember when you qualified for the King of the Ring? And you kicked all those guys' asses on the way up? But when you finally got there, he stops. Which was great, though, because we talked about it. We talked about the whole King of the Ring build-up just, months ago. And China was kicking everybody's ass. And then they just flipped it on her. Like, no, you're not going to win. Here goes the Billy Gunn. So it's funny that Triple H points it out there that, hey, you looked like you were kicking everyone's ass, and then, yeah, it didn't happen for you. So the other thing with that is Triple H gave her the spot in that tournament, too.
Yeah, I know.
So he could have said that. So I gave you that spot, and you blew it. So that would have made sense to say. But Triple H talks about how he bought her a big emerald ring. And this is some of the first times we're hearing about any kind of, what's going on? I didn't know they were fucking each other. Like, I bought you flowers. I bought you a ring. Like, Nah, you don't just buy that for your bodyguard or somebody that hits everybody in the nuts for you. So they had to have been dating at this point, and we didn't look into it, but I guess this is the time that they're together. And we talked about it a little bit, but we weren't sure. So Triple H goes on to say, I've always given, and it goes both ways. You've always given to me. I've always given to you. But I've never asked for anything until now. I'm going to ask for something. I'm going to ask for you to give me what I've busted my ass for all this time, my number one contender slot. Which, okay, I'm on his side at this point. Like,
yeah, I mean they've kind of been. I don't know. Has he earned it though? He's a heel. They never really earn anything.
Yeah, but why? You know, she all of a sudden is back with him when she was not with him.
That's true.
For most of this year.
So now that he's got some momentum going, she's back. All right, yeah. I see.
It's like, China, you're jumping on the bandwagon. You're leaving X-Pac and Road Dogg behind. Now you're jumping back with Triple H once he's starting to pick up steam. So Triple H challenges China for a match. I'll challenge you for a match. And China asks for a moment to think about it, and then she goes, no, which was cool. Like, all right.
Yeah, it was.
A little comedy out of her. Give me a second to think about it. Now. Like a bitch. You know?
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Not to speak any ill will against her, but just character-wise. That's what a bitch does. So Triple H is obviously pissed there. He says, remember who made your ass. Without me, you'd be nothing. You know damn well I can break you. None of this would be possible without me. Then you bite the hand that feeds you. You screwed me. Listen, you ungrateful bitch. I'm taking back what is mine. You got that?
And she is ungrateful. I mean, he did everything to put her in that spot.
Right, she would be nothing.
She should be returning the favor.
Right. It is him. It's not DX. It's not HBK. It's him. He brought her in before there was DX. You know, when he lost Sable to Mark Marrow, that's who
right.
He brought in.
Yes, that's right. Yep.
So yeah, she's totally right. Totally right about all this. But now she's becoming a star, just like how Sable was becoming a star and screwed Mark Marrow. And Triple H is like, I seen what happened to Mark Marrow. He took my girl, and she left him to become a big star. You know, it's all kayfabe I'm talking here, just playing. And then he says, China, that's not going to happen with you. You're not going to leave me become a big star. Fuck you. If anything, I'm going to take you down. You're going to be nothing. So China responds with, you give it a shot, Triple H. Frankly, you don't got the balls to beat me. So that was a good promo. That was good shit. Good exchange. Triple H is coming into his own. I know it's taking
this is one of his better promos here.
I know over the past couple of weeks, you've been on the side of, not buying it yet. But he's starting to grow on me even more. And that's
this was promo. It. This was might have been his best one yet.
Yeah. So they're gonna have their match. Austin's gonna arrive in the building between that, just to keep up with our Austin shit, because a lot of the things that happen on this episode of Raw are non-Austin related. It's all centered around who is the number one contender for the title. So yeah, that's the big thing happening here. So we're gonna get to the match. It's the number one contenders match, Triple H versus China. It starts at 27 minutes and goes until 32 minutes into the show. So at this point, you got to be thinking, well, this can't be all of what's going to happen, because why is it so early? There's got to be a lot of more bullshit happening. So the match starts. China's going to cheap shot Triple H, and then give him 3 forearms, European uppercut. That's her whole pattern. Forearm, uppercut. That's what she does. So China looks like a dude in the ring. She's fucking big. And I forget that as a child, as a teenager. It's like I'm just thinking of her, she's a big girl, but she shouldn't be wrestling with dudes. Now I'm thinking
she's still a woman. That's it.
But now I'm thinking she's fucking tougher than some of these dudes.
Yeah.
Because,
but it's still a. I don't know. It does not to come across as like sexist, but she's still a woman.
Yeah. So certain guys could kick her ass. Of course, Triple H could. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. In this context, it's Triple H. I mean, if it was like fucking the Fink or something, yeah, she'll fuck a dude. She'll fuck me up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like me and you, she's gonna fuck up. That makes me think. Jeff Jarrett. She'll fuck Jeff Jarrett up too.
Yeah, that's probably her max. I think that's kind of where you're kind of like, I don't know if she'd fuck Jeff Jarrett out. Jeff Jarrett's probably been in a lot of bar fights and shit. He's probably a well-experienced fighter.
Well,
maybe Jeff Jarrett, the wrestler gimmick guy.
I'm going to like based on size. Like,
damn,
he's
you
like
just threw Jeff Jarrett way under the bus.
Well, the reason why I do is because Jeff Jarrett's the one that left WWF because he had to lose the Intercontinental title to her.
Yeah.
So he quit.
He's probably a man like, I would fuck her up.
Yeah, so in my notes here, I said Jeff Jarrett had no business saying he wouldn't wrestle her. I was like, she looks better than he does in some of his matches, in a match with Triple H. And I know most of it has to do with Triple H being in the ring, guiding the match and making her look good. Of course, he wants to make Chyna look good in the match. But still, I'm only judging what I see. So anyway, Triple H is doing a great job working with her. And as I said, Chyna has grown on me. My appreciation for her after watching some of her matches now. It's like, all right, she can put on some decent matches. And she would obviously be a star today if she was in today's world.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Like, probably the biggest star.
Yep.
So Chyna's going to get in the ring. She's going to backdrop Triple H out of the ring. And then we get the return of Mankind. So Mankind's going to come back after 3 months of being out. And a whole lot of great Austin references with saying, oh, Mankind's the man. He's keeping Mankind on the mind of the audience in the past 3 months, too. Saying that, oh, Mick Foley is great. And he just sprinkles it in there. But here he is. He's back. And he comes out with his ref shirt on. Like, that must have been what he wore last time he was on the show. And he probably thought it would be funny, like, I got to come back with what I was wearing last time. So he's wearing the ref shirt. And he tosses Triple H back into the ring. Nails him with the steel steps. And Earl Hebner is holding Chyna back. Like, legit, for no reason. Those are the things that kill me, is that this is going on behind his back, and he's holding Chyna. Like, no, why are you holding her back? Why don't you just let her get out there? You can let her go out of the ring. So anyway, that's more Earl Hebner bullshit. So, of course, he doesn't notice what's happening outside of what he's doing there. And Triple H is knocked out of the ring, and Chyna goes over for the cover. But then Earl Hebner immediately goes for the cover. Now he's like, automatically, oh, now I know what's happening behind my head. It's time for a cover. It drives me crazy. He's blocking what's going on one side, and then all of a sudden he has like magic eyeballs behind his head, and he knows there's a cover happening. And he's ready to just
like, did he hear it? Like, I fucking doubt it.
Like, oh, there we go. And even still, it shouldn't be okay to just cover whoever's in the middle of the ring. You should be like looking around like, huh? What the fuck happened?
Yeah, what happened? Like,
yeah. Why are you on the ground now all of a sudden? Like, why does this happen? How come Triple H is knocked out and that was preventing Chyna from getting after him?
Yeah, and that's the thing. As an experienced referee, how many times have you watched a guy get hit and absolutely, like, fucking knocked helpless and, like, out cold to the point where the guy can just get an easy pin?
Right. He's holding Chyna
while you're
back.
watching. It only happens when you're not watching. Like, come on, Earl.
He's holding the opponent back. Like, don't go after him. No. And then he turns around and Triple H is knocked out, and then Chyna's ready to pin him. Like, huh? Oh, Mankind's over there too? Oh, what's going on?
Wow, I bet he didn't do anything.
So that's
What a
kind
good
of
spectator.
nonsense shit that goes on when Earl's the ref. And I don't get if it's just, is it Earl the ref
And
that
it's
they
funny.
do this to? Or is it just like whoever would be in these main matches would they do this to? Like if Tim White was assigned to all these matches, would he be doing the same stupid shit as Earl? Maybe.
Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe differently, but would still come across as stupid. And this is the type of shit that like happens that when non-wrestling fans watch it,
drive them away.
It fucking like pisses them off. Like if my girlfriend's dad was watching that, like watch this with me, and that happened, he'd be like, "What do you mean? How the hell does this guy not know? There's another guy outside the ring, and this guy's knocked out." Like, you know what I'm saying?
I know.
It pisses him off to the point where he can't watch wrestling because of dumb little shit like that. Just goes up his ass sideways.
Yeah, and know what I hate about it too is that if my wife was to watch it with me too,
16,000 people in the crowd too. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, a bunch of other people too that are just there. They're probably pissed off too. But what I was about to say is my wife would watch it with me. And if she were to see this match, she would think the same thing as your father-in-law. And when that happens, when they say something like that, you know, we've talked about it, we have to defend it. And then...
Yeah, I know.
Because we're trying to explain how it works. But that makes us feel like dumbasses for believing that, like, they're thinking, oh, you believe that's how that should work? And, like, we're just saying, oh, that's the way it is. But
yeah, I don't even defend it anymore. I'm like, oh, yeah, you know, that was pretty stupid. Every show has stupid parts in it, guy. You know? It's TV. Because I'm fucking mad as shit. Like,
yeah, but they look like, the non-fan look like the smart ones. And the smart fans look like dumbasses for just, that's how it is.
Yeah. Quit making me look dumb. You're playing me for dumb, and then people that don't watch this shit often think I'm dumb because I'm watching it.
Right.
The fuck?
Yeah, not only do I look dumb because I watch it, I'm trying to defend it so I look even dumber.
Yeah, no shit. And that's why you wrestling fans stick with wrestling fans.
Yes. And then even wrestling fans argue and bitch with each other, too.
Yeah.
So, we get to the end of this match here, and Mankind runs in after Triple H. JR still calls him Helmsley, which I picked up on, which I thought was funny because I feel like JR is sticking it to Triple H. Like, yeah, I'm not buying into this Triple H nickname. You're fucking Hunter Hearst Helmsley. I don't care. That's what I'm calling you. Hunter Hearst Helmsley. And even Stone Cold does it a bunch of times too. In the next couple of weeks, he says Hunter Hearst Helmsley or Hunter. Not accepting this new name of Triple H. It's almost a way of keeping him not from being over.
Yeah.
Like if this is his nickname of getting over, yeah, fuck him. I'm gonna call him Hunter. Call him Helmsley. So that's the funny part there. But Triple H is gonna get attacked. Actually, no, this all builds up from Mankind coming back, rather. Mankind is coming back because Helmsley was the one that injured him. Triple H is the one that injured him with the sledgehammer. So that's a good way to work Mankind back into this angle. So that kind of works. That's good that they did that. And that is going to lead to China, though, ultimately winning that match. So Mankind causes that distraction, and China's going to be able to win the match there. And Mankind heads back into the ring after China becomes the number one contender. Mankind wants a shot now. He wants a shot at China. So let's listen to what happens there in this next part of this match.
He'll hit you with that chair, China. What's he doing?
Hold on, China. Now I know there has always been a vague sexual tension between us. You and your revealing little outfits and me and mine. But I'm gonna try to put all that aside and tell you that I want a piece of Summerslam. And if you got the the ovariological fortitude
What?
to give me a shot tonight in this very ring. For that #1 contender role. How did that sound, Milwaukee?
Mankind wants to be the #1 contender for Summer. Oh my God! Oh, China, well that infamous low blow found its mark.
How does that sound?
In case you don't get it, that means no.
That is an emphatic no, to say the least.
I think he's feeling some vague sexual tension right now.
Are you sure?
Oh, I think she's very sure, Mick. China will go to Summerslam this Sunday. It's history in the making. The battle of the sexes, the rattlesnake, the ninth wonder of the world, and the WWF title will be decided this Sunday between a man and that woman. Oh, what a pay-per-view that's going to be.
All right, so Mankind now, as I said, he comes into the ring, and he's bringing up some vague sexual tension between China and Mankind. And he had said this months ago, too, before he left. But he brings it up again. He says, I want a piece of SummerSlam. And if you got the testicular, ovariological, I was like, is that a fucking
I couldn't make out
word?
what the fuck he said. It seems fake.
Ovariological? Yeah. So I don't think it's a word, but he was trying to go with testicular fortitude, and then he was trying to apply it to ovaries. So ovariological. He should have went ovarical, maybe. I don't know. Whatever. If she had the ovaries, like that's a thing. He should have just said if you got the balls, which I know you got, which is what most people say. But he's trying to be smooth to her. Because he actually wants a piece of China. So he says, if you have it in you to give me a shot tonight in this very ring, for the #1 contendership. And then he asked Milwaukee, how does that sound? And this is one of his first of many cheap pops, where he gets the crowd pumped up for saying the hometown. Then Mankind climbs through the ropes, he gets that crowd reaction, and of course China is just going to give him a nut shot. And Mankind is hurting. He says, are you sure you don't want this match? And then HBK heads out to the ramp. So we get HBK back, the commission's back, and let's see what he has to say with this match between Mankind and China.
Make him hot, I make him shiver, then is he weak, whenever I'm around, they see me walk.
Now, China, honey, sweetie, buttercup, the last thing I want to do is you off.
Guess not.
Because it seems to me every man that upsets you winds up getting his shoved so far up his throat he starts to choke on him.
That's the truth.
But old Mick, Mankind, I got a special place in my heart for that guy.
What?
Mick, you want, you shall receive. Tonight, you, my little buttercup, will wrestle Mankind right here on Raw to determine who will be the #1 contender at SummerSlam.
Wait a minute, she just wrestled.
I cannot believe this. We're going to see China and Mankind go one-on-one tonight. And yes, we'll find out who indeed will be Stone Cold's opponent for SummerSlam this Sunday on pay-per-view.
Look at that idiot Mankind. He looks like a kid in a candy store.
It's an early Christmas for Mick Foley. Mankind and China tonight.
All right, so HBK comes out all he comes out like a dickhead, basically. He comes out like very chauvinistic.
Yeah, it's kind of what he is now. I mean, look at his fucking ref outfit.
Yeah, he's always wearing the little tights with his fucking nutsack with the sock in it. And he's going to promote his wrestling school. But he comes out saying to China, honey, sweetie, buttercup. The last thing I want to do is piss you off because every man that does seems to get his balls shoved so far up his throat that it starts to choke on him. That was pretty fucking graphic.
Yeah. Too much.
Yeah.
Didn't need to see that.
All right, you're going to give a nut shot and then the balls go straight up?
Yeah, because naturally you just kind of like think it through to the end.
Yeah.
And it's a very bad image.
Right, you're just like, all right, I'm going to punch the balls. Okay, that hurts. But now I'm
Think
going
you
to
got to go to church and shit because you thought about it.
But now I got to choke on my balls? What?
Yeah, what?
It's like the other comment. I think it was Austin that said it weeks ago, but it's been in my head, and I've used it a couple times. I'll knock your teeth down your throat so far that you have to use the toothbrush, stick it up your ass to brush your teeth.
Yeah, that's what The Rock says.
Yeah, The Rock said it. Yeah,
yeah.
That was great.
We covered that I think last week.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks. Yeah, last week or 2 weeks ago. Yeah, that was great. So yeah, it's more of that graphic imagery that they have there. So we continue on there, and he says, old Mick, Mankind, I have a special place in my heart for you. Mick, you want, you shall receive. Tonight, your little buttercup will wrestle Mankind right here on Raw to determine who will be the number one contender at SummerSlam. Damn, we got another number one contendership match for SummerSlam just on the go-home show. And China is defending her number one contendership. So, I guess it would be obvious at this point. It's like, all right, it's Mankind against China. Well, Mankind, I guess, is going to win. That's what I would think. That's probably what I thought at the time. It's like, all right, you got to get this away from her. So.
Yeah, no shit. It's only natural to think that.
Right. It's not going to be China. It's not going to be fucking Stone Cold versus China. So anyway.
Because we know when WWE wants to make a point with a woman, they shove it down your throat for weeks before they do it.
Yeah.
Over the top.
Yeah. And they did it for a little while.
They're about making money, and they want to make sure that they got all the drawings so they can make all the money they can off it.
But if you look at this summer of 1999, that's kind of what it looks like, though, is the build to China. And if they would have given her the King of the Ring, this would make sense.
Yes. Yeah. Then it would have been a lot. I don't even think then I was even sold on the idea of her.
No, nobody was.
But if she was King of the Ring, probably.
But
I don't know. That probably would have changed.
But the build up to it, and I know definitely at the time, I wasn't thinking that she would ever get that. I probably would have been totally against it too. Yeah, I would have been totally against it.
I definitely would have been.
I would have been like, this sucks. I would have thought that. But now, rewatching it now, maybe influenced by the way wrestling is today, I thought, oh, fuck, she's probably better than some of those guys anyway. Fuck it. Make her the king. Make her the queen. Whatever. And it made sense because they were building to that, though. Now, rewatching it, it's like, yeah, she could have just easily been the queen of the ring, the king of the ring, the first one. And then throughout the rest of that summer, they could have had her in this spot. It would have been stupid, ultimately.
Yeah, it would have been.
But they could have done it. They didn't. Which, whatever. You could go either way and say, through today's eyes, if that was good or not. But they had her built up so huge in the summer of 99 is ultimately my point. Summer of 99 is like the summer of China. In a way. If you go back and watch all that little shit. It's China and it's Triple H. And then you get the Undertaker and Austin, which is barely Austin. Undertaker fading off at that point. So yeah, Triple H, China. Just my little 2 cents. But anyway, we now go on to a interview with Stone Cold Steve Austin with Michael Cole. And Michael Cole is going to do a couple interviews with Austin on this episode that we're going to be covering. And I feel like Austin just doesn't want to talk to this dude at all because he keeps it so short every single time. It's not like he's talking to Jim Ross, or it's just that Michael Cole doesn't have the chops to keep up with Austin or doesn't have the ability to just riff with him. So it stays so short all the time. And that's true here with this interview between Stone Cold and Michael Cole. So take a listen.
Cole is standing by with a rattlesnake.
Stone Cold, obviously you recover from your attack of last week.
Obviously I did recover, you dumb son of a bitch. I hope you're proud of yourself for noticing that. And make no mistake about it, Michael Cole, you don't bounce a cinder block off Stone Cold Steve Austin's head and not get a payback. So that means every son of a bitch here is on Stone Cold's list, and that's all I got to say about that.
Let's talk about SummerSlam this Sunday. We still don't know who your opponent's going to be, either Mankind or China, but as it stands right now, it's China.
Well, as it stood, it was going to be Triple H, and the way I figured it, it might have taken me 20 minutes, it might have taken me 40 minutes to beat that son of a bitch. As it stands now, China, it might take me 5 minutes to beat her, and by the same token, it might take me 15 seconds. If Mankind gets by her, it really don't make a damn to me because I ain't gonna give a rat's ass who's in the ring with me as long as I got an opponent. I ain't got no friends back here anyway, so what difference does it make? All I need is some son of a bitch show up in the ring, let's ring the bell, and let's get to it. That's all I got to say to you, so get your little ass out of here.
All right, so Stone Cold Steve Austin was attacked last week, and Michael Cole brings it up right at the top of the interview, and Austin's like, yeah, you're a dumbass. If you didn't notice, I wasn't getting better. Obviously, I'm getting better. So Austin says everyone is on his list. After being attacked by that cinder block. So previously, last week, Austin was attacked on the steps within the arena. And there was a cinder block lying next to his head. So everyone thinks it was Triple H. Shawn Michaels thinks it was Triple H. Austin says, bounce a cinder block off of Stone Cold Steve Austin's head and not get payback. That's all I got to say about that. Michael Cole asks Austin about SummerSlam, and Austin says he figures, it's going to take 20 to 40 minutes to beat Triple H. So that's a way of putting Triple H over. That is saying it's going to be a tough match with Triple H.
Yep.
And then Austin,
because usually it's just, I'll kick your ass in under a minute. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Stone Cold still, blah, blah, blah.
Right, totally right there. So, yeah, he's definitely put him over. He's saying it's going to take a while. Triple H is the top guy. And then Austin says it'll probably take about 5 minutes to beat China, or maybe even 15 seconds. And then the way he's going, though, is he's going from like high to low. So then he gets to Mankind. He says, oh, well, Mankind gets by her. Well, really? Well, it doesn't really make a difference. It really doesn't mean damn to me. Because at that point, based on his promo, what his promo style was, he was going to say it was going to be nothing to beat Mankind. So he immediately thought, and if you go back and watch this, you can see him thinking right off the cuff like, ah, shit, I fucked up there. Because Mankind, he's already gone 20 to 30 minute matches with. And the way his promo style was here is that he was saying, oh, Triple H would be 20 to 40. China would be 5 to 15 seconds. Mankind would be nothing. Then realized, fuck, that's wrong. So that's why he stumbled at the end and said, well, it doesn't mean a damn thing to me. I don't know if you picked that up or thought that at all.
No, I didn't.
Kind of what I came up with there. So, guys, we just played it for you, but maybe you thought that. Austin realized he didn't have anything else to say from there, and he says, I don't give a rat's ass who's in the ring with me, as long as I have an opponent. I ain't got no friends back here anyway, which is pretty much a true statement from everything that I've heard before about Austin and being backstage, is that he was fine with everybody, but he wasn't friends with anybody. He wasn't hanging out with people.
DTA.
Yeah. He's just getting along and, all right, I'll do my own thing. See you later. That's kind of how I am at work, too.
Same here.
Yeah.
That's exactly kind of how I am at work.
Yeah.
There are very few people that I like.
It's not that I don't like people.
with.
I'm not going to try to hang out with everybody.
Like, I've been in my company 14 years. It's probably 3 people that I could say I've actually made friends, and none of them are there anymore.
Yeah.
And maybe even honestly, probably like 2. One of them, Dre, who you know.
Yeah.
Well, kind of know, pseudo know.
Yeah.
And then outside of him, not really many.
I think that's how it always is too. Even when you're in school, as growing up, we know a lot of people, but how many friends do you have?
Mm-hmm.
So Austin says, he doesn't have any friends in the back anyway, so that makes no difference to him. All I need is some son of a bitch to show up in a ring. Let's ring the bell. Let's get it on, and that's all I got to say about that. And get your little tiny ass out of here, Michael Cole. So he sends his ass off, and then we get to a number one contenders match: China versus Mankind. And I don't really want to go through all this, but it's only a 2-minute match, so basically what you have is Triple H is going to show up on the ramp. Mankind gets Mr. Sacco out while China is looking and taunting Triple H. Mankind applies Sacco to the Sacco/mandible claw, whatever the fuck you want to call it. He holds her down on the mat, and the ref makes the 3 count. So now you have a submission move that's become a pin. It can go as a pin too, as long as the shoulders are down.
Shoulders are down.
Yeah. So Mankind's now the number one contender for the WWF Championship at SummerSlam. So it's off of China and it's on to Mankind, like everybody would think so. So pretty good. And then we move on to post-match, and Triple H immediately slides into the ring, and Mankind and Triple H go back and forth. China goes to Triple H's aid now. So all of a sudden she's like, okay, well, I got to ride your coattails still, so I don't want you to be mad at me. So I want to get back in your good graces, so I'm going to go after Mankind and try to help you out. And then you get the refs and the officials clear the ring. Triple H comes out, not Triple H, rather, HBK comes out, the commissioner, and he announces that Mankind's the new number one contender for the championship at SummerSlam. Triple H is pissed off, and that's where we go from there. Shane McMahon's going to head out, and Shane McMahon says that he's promised not to be involved in any of Triple H's affairs, which, what is this, Austin and Vince all over again? But anyway, Shane says that, and I don't know where that came from. Maybe that was on a heat that we don't cover because it's not on the network. But there now seems to be a conspiracy against Triple H as the number one contender. So he's going to get involved in his affairs again. That's his logic. I wasn't going to get involved, but seems like there's an issue, so I'll get involved now. As the owner of the WWF, tonight I am demanding a match between Mankind and Triple H for the undisputed number one contendership of SummerSlam. I am appointing myself the referee for that match. When they say undisputed, it's bullshit. It's like there already was a number one contender, and it was Triple H. Why was there more matches?
The fucking number one contender's already disputed.
Right. Triple H was
everything's disputed.
The contender. It's bullshit that he even has to go through this whole process. I don't know what was going on. It's I don't know if they just needed programming. Did they need matches? They didn't know what to do with him just being the number one contender. They just had to shake things up at the end, or they knew Mick Foley was coming back and they wanted him involved, or Austin didn't want him in the match, or just a one-on-one match with Triple H. That's probably part of it, now thinking of it, is that Austin probably knew he couldn't put up a good match with just Triple H, so you needed another person in the match to hide Austin's inabilities at the time. That make any sense to you? I feel like...
Well, you mean inabilities, you mean hide his injury?
Yeah, to hide his injury. So that you need 3 people in the match. And you need a special guest referee, so it's not focused on...
It's a way to protect them, too.
Right. Austin versus Triple H. So, yeah.
So
that's probably...
knowing that he's hurt, they likely don't want to... I don't know. He's still their moneymaker.
Right. As long as he's in the match, it's going to be a big deal.
Yeah, they're still going to sell tickets, because if he's not on the card at all, or he's not showing up, it is SummerSlam. It's one of their big 4. It's the summer event for WWE. like, I get it.
Right.
That's a good point. I'd agree with you there.
All right, so from there, HBK is going to say, this match is going to be set up. He's the referee. It's going to be no holds barred. It's going to be a false count anywhere match. And HBK says, I'm going to be the second referee, just so Shane won't be so lonely. So now we're going to have this another number one contenders match. It's going to be no holds barred, false count anywhere, Mankind versus Triple H. And Austin's going to come out and do commentary. And Austin drops his belt, tosses it onto the announce table. Austin has what looks to be a freaking scrape on his head, like a legit one. Like, I don't know where that came from. But it could have been from makeup to help put over the cinder block from the past week. So that's probably what it was. But he has that scrape on his head, so still selling that. And Shane comes out in his WWF ref gear. Then HBK comes out in his stupid little shorts and his Wrestling Academy shirt. And then Triple H comes out looking like a star with his chainmail and his music. And they're just totally getting him over as a big star. In my mind anyway, and probably to many others. As a heel at least. He looks like a big heel dickhead. So we get the match started here. And it's a decent match, but we don't want to go through the whole thing here. But you get a decent match between them. You get a lot of back and forth between Mankind being involved, and China is running in out of nowhere and is going to clothesline Mankind. Austin mentions that China is the toughest chick in the WWF, but if she gets involved at SummerSlam, it's going to be Wham Wham Stunner, which I love because it's wham. He says wham like we usually say on the podcast. Wham, Stunner. So he
we
sees
were probably saying
way.
it then too.
Yeah, right. You probably put it in my head. So we got some fighting going on the ramp. Triple H goes for an inside cradle, and we get a double 2 count for Shane and Sean. So Shane and Sean are counting at the same time. They do a double 2 count, which is pretty cool to see. And they head back to the ringside and then back into the ring. So back and forth. And Austin mentions that Ventura will get the same wham wham treatment. So Austin doing a pretty good job on commentary, getting over the match for SummerSlam, which is coming up just within the next week. And having the double rings, though, that's so weird. To have 2 rings in the damn ring at the same time.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I get if you want to have like an outside ring enforcer, or you have one in the ring, but 2 guys in the ring, how are you gonna count? And that's what they just showed there. 2 guys counting at the same time. It's stupid. So Mankind and Triple H, they battle on the outside of the ring. Mankind is slammed into the ring post. Triple H gets a chair. HBK takes it away from Triple H. Then Shane and HBK fight over the chair as Mankind hits double arm DDT on Triple H, which is great. Shane and HBK are nose to nose, and I made a note. It's funny to see that Shane is bigger than HBK. Go nose to nose with HBK. The 2 referees, and Shane's
because we always look at Shane as like, he could have be like world heavyweight champion. He's fucking Shane McMahon. He's Vince's kid, and
right,
he's bigger than arguably the greatest wrestler of all time.
Yeah, it is
ring performer of all time.
I know, and going back and watching what we see of Shane. And we'll see it later on in SummerSlam when we do the Attitude Era update. Is that Shane McMahon was a solid worker. If he were just to commit to wrestling. And if he didn't wear a fucking jersey to the ring, we might think differently of Shane. But anyway, yeah, totally right there. So Mankind pulls out Sacco. He applies it to Triple H. Triple H counters and hits him with a side suplex on a steel chair. They're both down, and they have their arms across each other's chest. Shane counts 3 for Triple H, and HBK is going to count 3 for Mankind. So you have 2 referees, and they both count 3, 1 for one guy, 1 for the other guy. I guess that's pretty cool in a way. What'd you think of that when you watched that?
What do you mean, like, what did I think of the ending?
Yeah, the ending. Both referees counting one of the one of the other guys out. So
I thought it was stupid.
I kind of like the creativity of it. It is stupid. I thought it was stupid, the fact that you have two referees.
Yeah, and I don't think I ever got past that.
Oh, okay.
The fact that there are two refs. So, like, I was like on that point for what is, I guess, the whole match.
Yeah. I can see your point there.
I never really thought past it. Like, I guess if you're going to do it, this was the way to do it.
Yeah.
But saying that out loud, I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess it's not that bad in that context. If you just look past the fact that there's two refs in the ring and you got to accept it, it is the way to go. Like, what the fuck are they supposed to do? Like you said, count at the same time and then both raise the hand of the same winner. That just would have been that probably would have been worse. So the fact that, there's the controversy over it just kind of helped.
Yeah, you can also be thinking, too, like, looking back at, like, a booking perspective, is that this is probably what they thought of originally, like, right away. Like, oh, we're going to have two referees, and one guy's going to say Triple H is the winner, one guy's going to say Mankind's the winner. Then they build it from there. Like, you can't always do it that way. Because
I give them a lot of credit for the creativity to go there.
But then trying to set it up, it could look like shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the other thing. I don't think it really went over.
Right. It sounds cool, but how are you going to get it done?
It's hard to take HBK seriously.
Yeah, when he's wearing fucking little nut hugger short.
Yeah, he doesn't take the job seriously, so it's like, you want me to take this match seriously, and the official in the fucking ring isn't official.
Right, he's only there because he knows he's still getting paid and he has to make some appearances.
Yeah. Yep.
He doesn't give a shit. And he's promoting his fucking wrestling school. Without permission, probably. He's just going out with it and like
basically, what are you going to do? Yeah. I'll go to WCW.
Right. Dickhead. So anyway, you get that. You get that finish there. Austin's wondering, who the hell won the match? Who's my opponent? What the hell's going on? HBK and Shane are arguing who should be the SummerSlam opponent. The refs head out. The owner and the commissioner has decided that Mick Foley, Mankind, and Triple H have won this match. Also, they've decided that there are number one contenders. So, therefore, at SummerSlam, there will be a triple threat match for the WWF Championship between Stone Cold, Mankind, and Triple H. Oh, what a fucking journey to get to this match.
Yeah, a lot of detours.
So many detours, all within one night. I guess you could say 2 weeks with China getting the contendership that week before. But what a long fucking night to go through to get to Triple H back in the scene, then Mankind back involved, and now he's in the match. Now you got a triple threat match. And we don't hear from Jesse Ventura at this point because he's already been on the show last week.
Yep, and he's not going to show up fucking weekly. So.
Right. So we don't know what his thoughts are on this match, so we're going to have to wait until the pay-per-view to see how he wants to officiate this match. So there's that. HBK runs away during the announcement. Shane talked shit.
That's it, but I wonder what he was like, what Jesse the Body Ventura was like when they were trying to like bring him up to speed on the current state of what the fuck's going on.
He's probably, why the fuck that happened? He was probably thinking Triple H versus Austin the whole time.
And just like, listen, Jesse, listen. This is how we're going to do it. This isn't the 80s. Fans love this. You just go out there, you be who you are, and fans are going to enjoy on it, but, this is what they want.
Fans love surprises.
Yeah. Fans love when we treat them like fucking morons.
I do have to admit, though, I did love surprises during this time. I don't know why. I guess it was put into our heads, like, when the Nitro and Raw War started, Monday Night War started, Lex Luger coming out, that first surprise, I almost expected a surprise every week throughout that time. It's like, I want a surprise to talk about.
That's funny.
So I can understand how that became a thing. It's like, oh, got to be surprises. But Vince Russo went over the top with that, where it had to be. What, people today would call swerves. It swerves. It's a swerve, bro.
And it's funny because that's what he would say because he says bro all the time.
Right.
Listen, bro. Bro.
Hey, bro. All right, so.
Bro.
All right, so let's move on now to SummerSlam 1999 on August 22nd of 1999, and this is live from Minneapolis, Minnesota. And Jesse the Body Ventura is going to be the special guest referee for this championship match, as we were just talking about. And he's going to warn everybody right before the match that pinfall must happen in the center of the ring. And to point out, when he gets to Austin just blows him off. Jesse starts talking, and Austin walks away from him. And Austin had the benefit of watching Triple H and Mankind do segments with Jesse before. So Austin probably thought to himself, it'd be funny if I just, once he starts talking, walk away from him. To be like, yeah, you're not talking to me. I'm the champ.
Shut the fuck up, buddy.
So that's what happened there at the beginning of that. And then we get to the match. And it's starting with a video package, a great video package that highlights everything that led up to it. But then we get the entrances, and Jesse the Body Ventura makes his entrance. And he gets a little political right away, talking about his state and how maybe some people, local politicians or maybe even national politicians, are kind of shitting on him for being a part of the WWF, being part of SummerSlam. And he wants to make it known that, he's proud of his history as a WWF wrestler, and he's proud to be a wrestler, and he's proud to be here at SummerSlam. And that gets the crowd hyped up right away for this match, for this main event match. And then we get the entrances for everybody else, and we get that pulsing music, the bullshit. And Mankind comes out, Triple H, and then Austin. And then once Austin comes out, he comes out with his double knee braces for the first time. And from this point on, he's going to have those on. And then the match gets started. Austin and Triple H go at it right away, battling back and forth in the ring. Now, next week, though, before we even get into this match any further, JV and I, we did a watch-along. We watched this match. We went right through it. We just did it right before we were recording this. A little inside information there. But that's available next week. So we're not going to go fully in depth with this. We're going to cover a little bit here. But we want you to tune in. We want you to watch and listen to next week's episode, our watch-along. So, JV, what were some of the highlights that you want to point out for this match so that we don't just get into the minutia of every little thing? So what were some big things that stood out to you?
Well, the fact that, they kind of sell the Austin injury early on in the match. So Austin gets some offense in early and stuff, but, they kind of push the injury earlier on in the match, like the first third of the match, I'd say. And then for the remainder of the match, Austin is kind of like a cripple, considering the knee damage. And, it takes a chair shot to the knee. And I think he falls from outside the apron down to the ground, and that's kind of where the sell on the knee injury begins.
Right, Triple H then hits him in the knee on the apron, then he falls to the announce table, basically, and he's hanging out there for a little bit.
Yeah, so that that basically sets up more of a Triple H versus Mankind match, and goes back to the point you made earlier about how they may have been trying to protect Austin and getting multiple participants in this match, and from a booking perspective, I think they nailed that part. So, yeah, but I think that's kind of the main highlight is the fact that he's the champ. He's not really defending his belt because he's fucking hurt.
Right.
And then in addition to that, he doesn't even take the pin. So they really go far and away above and beyond to make sure they protect their bread and butter and, Moneymaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin, even though the plan is to have him off, and out of the ring for a little bit.
Right. Yeah. So absolutely, that's kind of the game plan behind it. But another thing that both you and I talked about is that Jesse the Body Ventura, he does a great job as a special guest referee in this match.
Yes.
He starts off right away in those opening segments saying, there's going to be a winner the winner's going to be crowned in the center of the ring. It's going to happen in the middle of the ring, and he even tells Mankind, I know your style. You're going to go outside the ring. You're going to brawl, and I'm not going to stop you. You're going to use chairs. You're going to use your weapons outside of the ring, and I'm not going to stop you. But any of that stuff happens in the ring. He tells Austin the same thing. You use a chair in the ring. He tells Triple H, use the chair in the ring. I'm not allowing it. You can't get a win that way in the ring. You're going to wrestle inside the ring, and you're going to get a 3 count in the center of the ring. So he lays all that out early on. And then when the match goes on, he's a strict enforcer. And it all starts off with Chyna trying to pull a wool over him. And she grabs Mankind and yanks him to the corner post and gives him a nut shot and does it right in front of Ventura's eyes. So Ventura kicks her the hell out of there. So that was pretty great, too, that he just took command right from there. So Ventura, man, we put over Ventura.
No, I gotta agree. Like you'll notice when we talk about Ventura a lot during our watch along, and he's definitely one of the top special guest referees of all time.
Yeah, and it's his second time. We've seen. Not on the show, but in general.
He's embracing it. He's embracing the authoritative figure that a ref's supposed to be, which you don't see from guys like Earl Hebner, Tim White, etc. Like, you just don't see that. Like, they're the referee. They're the fucking official. Like, in boxing, if a referee tells one of the fighters to fucking chill out and stop, they chill out and they fucking stop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they're kind of more like helpless in the in the wrestling.
Exactly.
World.
Yeah. The theatrics of wrestling is that, I don't have to listen to you. I can do whatever I want. But with that said, if you're the referee, you control the match still. So, as we see a spot later in this match when Triple H is basically like, screw you, I'm going to hit Austin with a chair, I'm going to hit Mankind with a chair, and then I'm going to throw it out of the ring in the front of you and set the guy up in the middle of the ring and lay down on him, and that you better count the 3. And Ventura's like, fuck off. In any other situation, a referee would be like, oh yeah, I guess I got to make the pin now because you're covering him because I'm a little bitch. Whereas Ventura's like, nah, not happening. So that's a great moment in the match. But yeah, the referees just don't do that. And you're right. In boxing, they're like, no, this is my match. I'm the official. That's what official means. Like, I'm in charge. So cool that they had that dynamic in this match. It's pretty damn cool. So those are, I would say those are the 2 highlights of the match. Is that you have great special guest referee in Jesse Ventura. You had the great storytelling of Austin being injured, and they made sure that they didn't focus on Austin. It's almost like you knew he was going to lose, so they tried to portray him as just being injured, and he's going to take the loss there. What are you going to say, JV?
I guess the only other notable moment is the double mandible claw.
The finish.
That Mankind gets off, yeah.
All right.
So he gets off the, Sacco in Stone Cold's mouth and the...
Yeah, he gets the mandible claw on Triple H.
In Triple H.
He gets Sacco on Austin, and then Austin gives him a nut shot.
Yes.
And then that leads to Mankind being phased a little bit, and Triple H goes for a pedigree. Then Austin clotheslines Triple H. And then that's where we get to the finish. And Austin hits the stunner on Triple H in the center of the ring once he kind of comes to. And then that's when Ventura goes to make the count. Mankind breaks the 2 count. Austin tosses Mankind head first into the corner post. Triple H comes up from behind and nails Austin with a pedigree. Then Mankind breaks that count and then hits a double arm DDT on Austin right in the center of the ring. And Ventura makes the 3 count, and Mankind wins the WWF Championship again for a second time as a transitional champion, as we know.
Yep.
And JV, what'd you give for a skull rating? We talked about it on the watch along, but share with everybody.
I went with 3.75. Now, from a ring work perspective, it's probably not a 3.75, but it's overall when you bring in the entertainment factor and just how great it is to see Jesse the Body Ventura back and like the nostalgia behind all that, then how great of a job he does and how he's into it. I thought overall it was I always look at it how do I when I'm grading these things, I'm not looking at like match quality, how technically savvy everybody is. It's entertainment. Right. And from an entertainment grade, I gave it 3 3/4, so 3.75 skulls, which is the first time we went, fraction that wasn't half. Yeah.
Yeah, with that said, I stuck with the 3.5 because I wasn't being as thoughtful as JV, I guess. But I went with the 3.5 skull rating on this one. It was an entertaining match. I think Jesse the Body Ventura stole the show on this, actually.
Yep.
And I think they used Mankind winning the title as a way to shock the audience, to make it kind of more memorable, I guess. Triple H was built up to be the champion at this point, and it was almost like a foregone conclusion that he would win the title. So I think they wanted to throw people off a little bit here with a returning Mankind winning the title. It was probably known by many people that Austin wouldn't keep the title here, and it was a way to get the title off of him and have a babyface be the champion still. And Austin will very likely be able to do business with Mankind. Like, he loves the dude. So he probably wanted to drop the title to him. And what we see at the end of the match, which we haven't gotten to yet, is that Triple H is going to kick the shit out of Austin. So that even builds more heat to Triple H. So it works storyline-wise is that, Triple H doesn't need to be champion tonight. He can build up a bigger feud with Austin if he injures him and gets him off TV, and Mankind's the champion. And then he could beat Mankind, be the champion. Then Austin has to come back and chase Triple H with what would be his title, my title. So I think that's good all around, and that helps with it. So good storytelling. The match, not great match. It's all brawling, of course, and we don't have all the people able to do technical wrestling. Austin obviously can't do it at all at this point. Mankind is doing what Mankind usually does, which is fine. Triple H works a different style than Mankind, so he has to adjust to that. So it's good in general. Jesse Ventura definitely helped make it a better match, so I go 3.5. Without Ventura, I'd say it's a 3. 3-star, maybe even less. Probably even less if it was no Jesse Ventura. If it was Earl Hebner, it'd probably be like 2.5. If it was Tim White, it might be a 3. Not to just keep shitting on Earl Hebner, but hey, fuck it. All right, JV.
Yes.
So there was some of that action after the match. It was the post-match shit. And I just kind of covered that mostly there in my little recap there, is that you had Triple H kicking the shit out of Austin. But the one thing I did want to mention, though, is as the show is ending, you get Triple H's music playing at the end of the show.
Yeah.
So obviously Austin lost his title, so yeah, you're not going to play his. Mankind won the title, and he walks off with the Ventura right away. They leave. Triple H beats the shit out of Austin, and then he gets his music played after beating the Star's ass. like, when does that ever happen? The heel kicks the superstar's ass and gets to walk out to his music. He should be walking out to no music, if anything. It should be silence. It should be a silent, shocked crowd. Like, what the fuck? You just killed our star. But now we got to hear his music. It's not like he's playing the music. Some asshole in the back playing the music. So it's not like they're rubbing it in the face. Like, oh yeah, he's the big bad heel. Listen to his music. No. But anyways, there's that. And then let's move on now to our last part here. And it's SmackDown 01, the first SmackDown from August 26th, 1999. This was taped on August 24th, 1999 from Kansas City, Missouri. And it's just a quick little interview of Stone Cold Steve Austin and Michael Cole talking about Austin's injury that he suffered at SummerSlam. So take a listen to that.
To sit down and speak with the rattlesnake.
Steve, going into SummerSlam, the world knew you weren't 100%, and Triple H knew that too, and he went after that knee after the main event with a steel chair. And we understand from doctors that you suffered severe ligament and tendon damage. And how are you doing today?
I had a torn ligament prior to the match at SummerSlam. I had a brace fitted for the knee to get me through the match. And it was SummerSlam, so that's what you do. You don't sit there at the house and wish you could wrestle. You go out there and wrestle. After the match was over, the attack with the steel chair only made things worse. So I'm out of action here for a little bit, but I'll be just fine with some rehab here in a month and a half or whatever it takes. Hunter Hearst Helmsley has hell to pay when I get back.
Steve, Triple H on Raw this past week begged to differ. He says you'll never, ever be the same again. Could he be right?
I think that's a big bunch of bullshit. It ain't for Triple H to say whether I'm going to be the same or not. It's only up for Stone Cold Steve Austin to go out there and do the rehab and do what it takes to get back in that ring, and then I'll decide if I'm 100% or not. But I'll tell you this, and Triple H will know exactly how far along or how good this knee is when the bell rings and me and him get in that ring again for the WWF title. And I'll show him firsthand exactly what kind of condition that this knee is in, because I'll kick his ass all around that ring and take his little belt from him. And ain't a damn thing he can do about it.
Now, Triple H has had this serious mean streak as of late, very vicious over the past few months. And many people say that you're to blame, that Triple H has taken a page out of your playbook. What do you say about that?
Well, if he took a play out of my book, I think that's just fine, because I think I have influenced a lot of people. And nobody knows better than me that it takes a mean son of a bitch to get to the top of the World Wrestling Federation. So if he stole a page out of my book, that's just fine. The fact of the matter is, he hadn't read the whole book. And like I said, when I get his ass in that ring, Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to beat his ass, and that's all I got to say about that.
All right, so you have Michael Cole interviewing Stone Cold Steve Austin. And Austin basically says he has a torn ligament prior to the match. He wore a knee brace to help him get through it all. Says it was SummerSlam. Says you're not going to sit home and just wish you could wrestle. So I had to show up. After the match, only made it worse. So I'm out for a little while. And I'm going to rehab. And after a month or a month and a half or so, whatever it takes, Hunter Hearst Helmsley has hell to pay when I get back. So there you have Stone Cold Steve Austin just pointing out, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, not Triple H, fuck you, you're Hunter Hearst Helmsley, you little bitch. And then Michael Cole mentions, Austin, Triple H said that you'll never be the same. And my initial thoughts were, yeah, that's probably true. You might not be the same again. So Austin responds, I think that's a big bunch of bullshit. It's only up to Stone Cold whether I can do the rehab. And then I'll decide if I'm 100% or not. But I'll tell you this. We will know how good this knee is when the bell rings and when we get back again in the ring for the WWF title. He says he'll kick his ass. He's going to take his little damn belt from him. And there ain't going to be a damn thing he can do about it. Then Cole remarks about Triple H's recent mean streak and saying how he may have taken a page out of Austin's book. And Austin basically responds, yeah, he may have taken a page out of my book, but he hasn't read the whole damn book.
Which was good.
Yeah, that was a cool line. Then Stone Cold says, that's the bottom line, and that's all I got to say about that. So Austin's going to be out on injury. He's going to be off TV until about October 10th. October 10th recording. That's what's being reported in the Wrestling Observer at that time. And he's also going to be recording some episodes of Nash Bridges during this time. So he's off from wrestling, but he can do some TV shows. All right, guys, so that kind of concludes our Austin storyline this week. And this week we're going to do something a little different because next week we have a special edition episode coming up where we're going to do the watch-along to the match that we just discussed from SummerSlam 1999. But not only on the special edition are we going to have that watch-along, on the second half of the special edition, we're going to do the Attitude Era update. And so instead of doing it here, covering the August 16th episode of Raw, and the matches from SummerSlam, we're going to do that next week on the watch-along, along with an update of things that happened when Austin was gone during the August 23rd Raw, the August 26th SmackDown, August 30th Raw, September 2nd SmackDown, and September 6th Raw. So we're going to run through that along with our normal update that we would have had this week. So all the Attitude Era update stuff will be on next week's episode, which will be the special edition watch along. So now let's get into our bottom line wrap up. Hope that makes sense to everybody. But if you want your Attitude Era update, it's going to be on next week's episode on a Wednesday. But let's get into that bottom line wrap up. And the house show rundown is nothing because Austin could barely wrestle at SummerSlam. He's not doing any house shows, no way.
Yeah, he's in full rehab mode.
But now that we're not doing the Attitude Era update this week, it's going to be hard to come up with some of these oh hell yes, oh hell no's, I think. Because there's not as many bad things to pick from. I know I definitely had some oh hell no's with stuff that happened outside of Austin.
I've got my two.
Okay. All right, so let's start with the oh hell yeah moment of the week. JV, what do you got?
My oh hell yeah moment is Jesse the Body Ventura as a referee.
Yes. I agree. That was already given for me. Jesse the Body Ventura is the oh hell yeah moment of this week. Damn right. And for all the points that we've already said.
So that's your oh hell yeah as well.
Yeah, that's my oh hell yeah. Yep.
Oh hell no!
And oh hell no. Okay, I got one. My oh hell no of the week is the episode of Raw 816 325. All the number one contender matches.
That's a good one.
I just was totally against that. It's like, come on. Just settle on one contender and build up that match that night. Like, you maybe have the first match. Like, they should never give it to China anyway the week before. But
no, they shouldn't have.
But just build from there. Like, if they could have had Triple H retained from China and then Mankind come back all of a sudden and be like, you injured me, screw you, I want a title shot. That could have been the number one contenders match. And they could have even had that end in a finish where you didn't know who the winner is, like they did anyway. And then it would be, okay, they're going to face Stone Cold. And all throughout the night, you could have had Mankind and Triple H fucking with each other. Something like that. You know? So, yeah, oh hell no to having so many damn matches for the number one contendership. What do you got?
I think I have to go with the double referees.
Yeah, that's good.
That's just a bad idea. You don't need two referees in a match between two people. Like, I can understand maybe it was like a War Games match and you got like two rings and you got like fucking 15, 20 people, whatever, not the fucking ring. But like, it's a one-on-one match.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Why do you need two referees?
Yeah, that's shit. That was a good one.
That's just, I guess that's my oh hell no. I guess my runner-up for hell no, though, because I always like to bring something else up, would be, I don't know. It's kind of like a whole oh hell no, but I kind of enjoyed it, but it was really stupid. Was Hardcore Holly introducing his cousin Crash Holly, and then them fighting in the middle of the ring, I think on like SmackDown.
Oh, we didn't get to that.
Oh, yeah. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, we cut that out. We're using that next week.
Yeah. Everybody look at this light, and you forgot about it.
The Men in Black.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see if within the week that if you change that next time.
Yeah. I'm going to remember that now.
You got to write that down again. Crash Holly fighting each other. And they do that again. They do that at SummerSlam. They do it. Yeah, that sucks.
It's like a guilty pleasure type thing, I guess. I don't know. It's like funny.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
A lot of oh hell no's with Crash Holly, the hardcore scene.
Yeah. Lord Tensai of the world. Oh, I'm sorry.
Prince Albert.
It's not Lord Tensai. Prince Albert.
Yeah. All right, so those are the oh hell yeah and the oh hell no moments. And just to recap again, just to make it clear to everybody that next week is a special edition watch along for the SummerSlam 99 main event match that we just talked about, Austin versus Triple H versus Mankind with Jesse the Body Ventura. And then the second half of that episode will be an Attitude Era update, and a decent sized one because we'll be going through about a month of WWF action. Not in full detail, but just giving you the highlights of what's going on so we can get back to Austin, who makes his return on the Raw after September 6th. So that should be the September 13th. So September 13th, Austin makes his return. And then we'll get back to those regular episodes after that point. So special edition coming up next week. Now let's plug some of our podcast pals like Talking Taker. Next week, or this week rather, they drop an episode tomorrow. And they're dropping episode 120, and they're in 2006. And they're covering some of the shitty years of The Undertaker at this point. But that's what their show is. It's covering The Undertaker. And The Undertaker is going for the U.S. title for the first time since 1990 when he went against Lex Luger as Mean Mark Callis. But now he's going up against Mr. Kennedy at No Mercy 2006. And they're also going to discuss the Broken Skull Sessions interview that Stone Cold Steve Austin had with The Undertaker this past week on the WWE Network, which was a hell of an interview and definitely worth checking out if you're a fan of either of them because they have a great interview. It's so cool to see The Undertaker just let down his guard and be fucking Mark Calloway. We also want to shout out Booking the Territory, our friend Mike Mills, along with his crew of Hardbody Harper and Doc Turner, as they break down episodes of NWA WCW Saturday Nights from the 1980s, and they are currently covering July 30th, 1988. That will drop tomorrow on Thursday. Actually, no. They're dropping it early this week because of Thanksgiving, so it's available now, actually. So check them out on Booking the Territory, and on this Sunday, they will release their May 6, 1995 episode of Smoky Mountain Wrestling. And always check out our friend Jay Free on Free Your Geek. Not sure what he has coming up this week, but definitely check him out for all pop culture news. There's a lot going on. His most recent episode was all about the different streaming options that are available. And he usually comes out with episodes bi-weekly, I would say, at this point. But check out Free Your Geek. There's a whole archive of good information out there in the world of geekdom. And also, again, check out JV and I on the Extreme ECW Livecast on the Booking the Territory Patreon feed at the $5 tier. And this past week, we dropped episodes 25 and 26 of ECW Hardcore TV, which was our 12th episode. And we covered September 28th and October 5th of 1993. So definitely check us out there, pttpatreon.com. If you want to reach out to us, as I said at the top of the show, I'm Mike Prue at MPRU83. JV is at John Van Damage. And we are at Bottom Line Cast. Please give us a 5-star review on iTunes. Subscribe to our YouTube page. And just spread the word. Tell your friends all about us. The Bottom Line Wrestling Cast. JV, any final words?
No final thoughts tonight. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving. Be careful out there. And enjoy yourself. And that's all we got to say about that. All right, so long, everybody.
And that's all I have to say about that.